Hey guys, Starhammer here. Welcome to Starhammer: The Vanguard Prophecy. Starhammer is a game just released on Steam, made by Naval Strike Group 7. It's basically a turn-based strategy, fleet command-like game, similar to Nexus: The Last Prophecy, which came out quite a bit long time ago. Basically, you're in control of a fleet of ships, and that fleet of ships you'll be slowly developing, upgrading, you'll be managing your crew, going through various missions, and it's very heavy turn-based, tactics-based. You're gonna have to micro every single movement of your ships and then control how they fire, contribute to the distribution of the power of each ship, when to use their missiles, when to use their countermeasures, and all of that good stuff. I took a little time to get used to the controls, but I haven't played that much, so for this Let's Play I'm going to hopefully get to the end, and there's no Iron Man, but we're gonna try to do it. Maybe a little Iron Man-ish. I mean, like, the decisions we make will just follow through, but obviously if I lose a mission, I'm not going to just go back all the way to the start, because that would mean this campaign takes a very, very long time. But if I, lose a ship or anything like that, then we're going to be stuck with that decision. If I get wiped out, then I'll go back to the last mission, just to play it. Okay, Bronze Man, that's how we'll call it. So that's it, let's get started. Alright, start new campaign. Yes, we're just going to override my little test save, and we're going to play on the hardest difficulty. Here's the storyline in this 22nd century. We left a dying Earth, so that's fortunate few could settle an unspoiled frontier home. The journey to Gillespie 581D took 146 years. It was called Novus by the time we made landfall. Silent, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we would learn that life in a frontier colony is near prosperous, nor peaceful. We were unprepared for the knowledge, as they were totally unprepared for us, and we got into some crazy-ass war. 40 years later, our leaders remained politically entangled and unable to see the threats that linger both afar and within our own walls. War heroes that become politicians, conspiracies, spy traction, a fractured population already lost us 14 years ago. We're gonna buy a new generation. That doesn't seem that long ago, but whatever. Alright, so for our first mission, excuse me, we're going to be playing as Lieutenant Valerian Dice, CS class of something 037. This is recorded as personal off the record. 90 years ago, I started two things. One, I was late to my rendezvous, and this was going to be another mark of my already flagging performance report with Commander Tension. Competing with Golden Boy Dale Liu for Tension's commendation. It was going to be a hard sell no matter which way I went, but I was not making the fight any easier for myself. 2, my gut was telling me something was off. Even before we had deployed at the time, I thought it was just Haven sour face putting me off. I should have trusted that feeling, all but for hindsight. I've been gone over and over these vid feeds of the battles. Liberty 2 didn't need our help against those swordfishes early on, so what went wrong? I'm gonna go back over this vid feed of the training exercise again. Here's anything I missed. 9 days ago, everything started to go wrong. Let's go on our training mission. And here's our little fleet right here. We got our flagship, which is just a Corvette right here, and 2 little fighters, or raiders, that's what it's called in game. And we see the little chat on top. Feel free to read that. Basically, our goal is to rescue this little utility ship. And I'm going to order this utility ship just to come towards us, because that just makes the most sense. With full power to engines. So as you can see here, we need to manage our engines, weapons, and shields power distribution. We have to leave 10% minimum on each side. To get our shields to recharging, they have to be at minimum, I believe it was 40%. Let's take a look. We'll recharge at 40%. Yep, and I'm not exactly sure. Was it 30? 30? No, so your shields have to be at least at 40% to recharge. And increasing weapons does more damage, increasing engines obviously increases your movement speed. It's even though it looks too that you can actually move up and down the plane like this, so take a look. Just gotta get used to the camera a little bit. So as you can see, we can move up and down, which sometimes matters because you don't necessarily want to collide. That would be bad. But we'll put full engines to everybody because we want to rescue our little dummy ship right here. And you can just read the chat of someone a little bit angry at us for for, you know, being late to this training session. And once you're done, you just click this button and we move on to the next turn, and you see our actions execute. And I'll show you a little bit of our fighters. Our fighters are obviously the fastest, and they only have forward firing arcs. Our Corvette here has forward firing arcs and rear firing arcs. And our destroyer here, which is led by our commander, has many firing arcs. Obviously, strongest in front, and then some, you know, weaker weapons on the side. Pretty much expected. And our utility ship with no guns or anything. Keep advancing forward. I should probably avoid this asteroid. Actually, we'll see, we're now on the same plane as the asteroid, so even though it looks like we'd hit the asteroid, we actually would not. This is food for thought. We're gonna treat the utility ship behind us. And oh no, there's some scary people coming out that might want to kill my utility ship. Okay, we'll just have to protect ourselves. Put all weapons to full. That would be a balanced power distribution for our leftmost Corvette, or fighter, sorry. And then our rightmost fighter would just try to maintain formation. Well, sit. Maybe not too balanced, but a little bit more to engines and weapons. Because I think shields we don't need as much. I'll fall a little bit off formation's fine. And then I'll launch some of my missiles. Now missiles don't get regenerated per mission. They get regenerated at the end of each story chapter, which is some arbitrary amount of missions. That's alright. And you, unfortunately, I can't boost your engines or anything. You're pretty much worthless and you'll probably die. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just targeting my utility ship here. Not much I can do about it. I've tried to, you know, do quite a few things, and they always die. It always dies in the first round, which is kind of a shame. Bye bye, utility ship. Now we can go to a more balanced distribution. And I put all weapons to full on my Corvettes because these guys are just heading towards me. And we might as well launch 2 more missiles at them. I'm gonna rotate my destroyer this way. He's probably gonna move here, so it makes more sense to move my destroyer all the way over here. And these guys are just charging straight at me, so I got one little fighter left. And this fighter is probably not gonna survive that long. Such a balanced distribution. And we'll face this way since he'll probably shoot past us. And then we'll rotate all of our fighters backwards. Just so, you know, we cover anywhere he could go. It's actually turning around this way, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's alright. Our destroyer has plenty of firing arcs. We'll just make another U-turn here. Gonna put more onto engines, maybe. It's alright. Doesn't matter, it's just one tiny little fighter. Eventually he'll die. Let's see, he's already taking some shield damage. The light gray, I believe, is the shields, and then the red is like hull damage. I think I'll elevate my ship a little bit. Let's change our plane up, so I don't actually ram into any of my ships. The destroyer here is a bit hard to maneuver, obviously, as a bigger ship normally would be. We're turning to face towards him. We'll just scratch him here and there. Luckily, we got some rear weapons as well. He's just trying to outmaneuver us. If we go this way, you'll see we'll actually run into our own ship, so we don't want to do that. Okay, actually, now that he's moved away from us, we can cover a larger firing arc. It always takes a bit to destroy this last ship in all the missions. I played a few of them just to, you know, get the hang of it. I don't think I'm like the world's best space fleet commander, but you know what? Just a learning game. Finally, we're doing some damage. We got everyone in front of our firing arcs. Did rotate a little bit too much though. But that's alright. Eventually he'll die. Especially since he's in front of our fighters now, so not easy for him to escape. We'll just cover every single firing arc. And then this way he can't, well, at least get a little damage each time. As you can see, our smaller weapons are much more accurate against the enemy fighters. Or fighter, raider. It should be pretty obvious to anyone who's played space games. Our larger ship does way more damage, but firing weapons are a bit too unwieldy to track a small fighter. And I don't believe there is friendly damage, but you are able to ram your own ships. Of course, we don't want to do that. Okay. Yeah, like I said, this last part always takes a little bit, but this is just the first mission, and everything should be settled. Oh, okay, after one more turn. There we go. Perfect, we lost... Not that we lost some shields, but whatever. And we gained some defensive war skill. We'll explain that later. Time for our second mission. Basically, depending on how we behaved in each battle, we'll either gain defensive or offensive war skill, and that just determines the bonuses we have. Defensive apparently gives you ship captain development points, which is experience for our crew members, and extra reinforcement points, which allows us to have more ships, and munitions resupply, which sometimes allows us to give our missiles and stuff back. I'm actually not sure where defensive is because I never went that far. We got our first crew member. We'll just stick him here. Get over here. And as you can see, depending on the choices we have, it'll affect our relationships with each other. Right now, we'll just be mildly friendly with each other. And depending on what we pick, it also determines their personality type. So I kind of like just increasing our flagship's movement speed and our damage. Play a little bit aggressively. Though, you know, having shields isn't bad either, to be honest. Although we do get a little bit more of a bonus by... Maybe we should just mix it up like this. Nah, we'll just keep it like here, it's fine. Shields and... more shields. Never have too many shields. Save our campaign here. And let's get to the next one. Next mission right here. 8 days ago, 2 hours later, and technically over the date line, reached the abandoned cola-tended processing orbital that Dale was used for target practice. Poor Mucker wasn't to know they had been hiding there all along. They thought he had come for them and took no time peppering his Nemo with holes. Got there just in time to watch their last shots rip through his hull. For all his smarts, Dale Lowe was never one to know when he was outmatched. If my timeline is correct, so after this is the time tension hit its trouble. 2 clicks back at our first engagement point. Stayed with NSG-7, maybe the Liberty would still be afloat. But then we never have found what happened to Dale. It's all recorded, right? It's all recorded here, right from when we first made visuals with that Finnegan station. Rest in peace, Dale. 8 days ago, and the worst has yet to come. Alright, so we can... I'll just pause right here if you guys are interested in reading these messages right here. Now we'll move on to the next mission. And here's our 3 ships. We have our Corvette. We don't have the destroyer anymore since that was our commander ship. But we'll just assign a formation where we're just as forward advanced as possible. I feel like, at least in the first few missions I played, that was the most advantageous formation. Just to get to the objectives as fast as we can. We have some reinforcements points too if we wanted to get another ship, but I think I'll save that for later. Maybe we could get some better ships than just raiders. Although raiders are actually pretty useful. Intercept Lieutenant Lowe's attackers. Fortunately for Lieutenant Lowe, he's almost completely dead with no way to repair himself and just some missiles. So we're going to turn him around. I actually don't think it's possible to save him, but we'll try. And let's put all of our shields to right side. To the right flank. We can't actually even recharge the shields. So even if I put it all the way, it's not going to recharge. So point raising his shields more than we need to. I get one volley off and then he'll just die, which is a very big shame. So put a few rear shields as well. About 2 on rear and 4 on the right. And let's just launch his dying grasp of missiles right here. And then everyone else, full engines. Maybe we'll miraculously save it. Most likely, not. We can't just give up that easily, right? Their friend. Fire 2 missiles here as well. Try to kill the closest one. And yeah, he didn't even survive one turn, unfortunately. But we got some missiles off on him, and that did some significant damage. And there could be a way to save it, maybe on easier difficulty, maybe even on this difficulty, but fortunately, I did not save him. Actually, this is the mission while I was playtesting. I was really trying to save it, so I just, reload the mission, and I just couldn't get to it, so for on camera, I'm just going to do it once. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. I'll switch to a balanced, what's it called? Energy expenditure. And take off our weapons here, or sorry, our engines here, because you'll be moving a bit far ahead. Do some extra damage and blow up one of these ships. Once again, it's just 2 raiders with the objective to protect our friend here that didn't exactly work out too well for him. What a shame. I can actually get him to survive 2 turns by putting the shields on max, but it's not gonna help after that. If I put the shields on max, he's not gonna escape either. Hey, we got 1 missile hit. Now he's going to turn around, so I think I'm going to just rotate around here. Switch to a balanced. Actually, maybe not switch to a balanced, switch to just full shields and weapons. We'll try to recharge a little bit by just putting the minimum shields that we need to recharge. And we'll just rotate our entire fleet to the right. Makes sense to me. Rotate a little bit more. There we go. And our second missile finally hit this ship. Missiles are pretty good against this small crap. And then, like I said, they're just limited munitions, so we don't want to waste too much for stuff. Now we'll try to get to this raider. We don't have the destroyer anymore, though. So we won't be able to hit him unless we get a good position on him. Bit unfortunate, but that's alright. And yeah, we don't want to ram our own guys. Hey, this guy's shields are slowly going down. Might want to put to a more balanced on you. And then same with you, although actually you already are. So we'll rotate you this way, because he'll probably swing around this way. If he swings around this way, we'll be able to cut him off anyways. And we also got our rear weapons. They aren't as strong. Okay, maybe I'll just gain a little space away from him. He has quite a few shields, but only on the left and front side. Okay, actually, I think ran into me. Yes, he did, and that wasn't good for him, because if you run into each other, you actually get disabled. I should probably disable my engines on you. And put maximum 2 weapons in. If I can select you. There we go. Yeah, okay, now he's just taking hull damage, is basically almost dead. It's fine with me. Let's reassign some shields to the rear. And I don't want my fighters colliding into each other, so let's put all of our power to weapons. Make sure we don't run into each other. Now I can rotate my Corvette back, so I can hit him. This will be a 2-turn maneuver. And we'll chase this guy down. I'll keep this this fighter just guarding this area, and then this one will cover this firing arc. See, now I can do a little damage here. And he's almost dead. Should be dead soon. Switch to full weapons again, since he's heading straight towards me. Okay, well, should be one more turn. Maybe 2 more. Rotate you back this way. And it does take a little time to complete this mission since they are turn-based. But eventually, you know, you get it done. Like I said, it's usually the last enemy that's the hardest to kill. It's because, especially when it's like a really fast fighter, right? I just feel like saving my missiles. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Pretty simple mission once again. I think that'll be it for first episode. Just a small introduction to this game. If you're interested or you have any comments about this game, feel free to leave one in the comment section. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a like. If you'd like to continue supporting this channel, please click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. Starhammer signing out.